All right, so are you ready to dive into some serious personal branding strategies with me today?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got this awesome guide, and it's really geared towards entrepreneurs and thought leaders, you know? But honestly, I think there are some really valuable nuggets in here for anyone who wants to make a bigger impact.
For sure, for sure.
Like boost their visibility and, get their message out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one thing that really jumped out at me was this whole concept of forced engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was a little bit like, is that ethical? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, is it okay to kind of force people to engage with you?
Yeah.
But the more I read about it in this guide, it's not really about forcing anything. It's more about being super strategic
Right.
with who you're engaging with.
I see.
So it's almost like a growth hacking mindset,
Yeah.
but applied to personal branding.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that actually ties into another point that kind of surprised me,
Oh.
which is this idea that focusing too much on your ideal customer profile can actually limit your growth.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's funny because we're always told, define your ideal customer, right?
Yeah.
Know your audience and all of that. But I think there is something to be said for reaching a wider audience.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because you never know what opportunities might come from that.
Right. You could get some unexpected collaborations or partnerships or just,
Exactly.
new connections that you never would have thought of before.
It's all about expanding your reach and seeing what happens.
So the guide actually uses this example of a digital marketing agency
Okay.
that was only targeting U.S.-based businesses.
Okay.
And they thought, okay, we've got our ICP nailed down. We're good.
Right.
But when they started creating content for a global audience,
Mm-hmm.
they suddenly saw this huge surge in growth,
Wow.
landed some awesome partnerships, and it just kind of opened up all these new doors.
That's amazing.
So it's not about abandoning your core audience or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's more about strategically expanding your reach
Yeah, I like that.
to kind of see what else is out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so I want to get into some more specific tactics now,
Okay.
because this guide is full of them.
Yeah.
So what really stood out to you in terms of actionable strategies that people can actually implement?
Well, I think they do a good job of covering the foundational stuff.
Yeah.
But even that is presented in a way that's not your typical, find your passion pep talk. It's more about really digging into your why. What is the driving force behind your desire to build a brand?
Your motivation.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's going to keep you going when things get tough.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of people overlook.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to be famous, or I want to make a lot of money.
Right.
But those are not very sustainable motivations.
No, they're not.
You need something deeper than that.
Yeah, something more meaningful.
So the guide actually suggests that having a strong why helps you overcome self-doubt and maintain consistency,
That makes sense.
which are super important for long-term success.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you have to believe in what you're doing,
Right.
and you have to show up
You
consistently.
can't just be here one day and gone the next.
Exactly.
People need to know what to expect from you.
So how do you suggest people actually go about figuring out their why?
Well, the guide offers some concrete steps for that.
Oh, okay.
It starts with reflection,
Mm.
really thinking about your values,
Yeah.
your passions, the impact you want to make on the world.
Your goals.
Yeah, what are you really trying to achieve here?
And the guide even provides some specific questions
Oh, nice.
that you can ask yourself.
Yeah, like what?
Like, what problem am I trying to solve?
Right.
Who do I want to help?
Mhm.
What legacy do I want to leave behind?
Wow, those are some deep questions.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mm-mm.
It's about getting to the heart of what drives you. Okay, so I definitely want to circle back to this whole engagement hacking thing,
Okay.
because I'm still kind of intrigued by it.
Yeah.
So remind me what that's all about again.
So the basic idea is that you're targeting fast-growing profiles for engagement. And it sounds a little bit calculated, I'll admit.
Yeah.
But it's not about being manipulative or anything like that.
Right.
It's more about tapping into existing momentum.
Okay.
Think of it like this. You're catching a wave. As someone else's audience grows,
Yeah.
your visibility increases alongside theirs.
I see.
If you can get in front of those people,
Yeah.
you have a better chance of being seen.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is, how do you do that authentically?
Right.
Like, how do you make sure you're not just using people for their audience?
Well, that's where the emphasis on genuine engagement comes in.
Okay.
It's not about leaving generic comments like, great post, or
Yeah.
trying to game the system.
Yeah. Just for the follow back?
Exactly. It's about providing valuable insights, asking thoughtful questions, and genuinely adding to the conversation.
Okay, so you're actually contributing to the community.
Exactly. You want to be seen as someone who's adding value.
Right.
Not just someone who's trying to get something.
So they actually have this example of a guy named George Stern
Okay.
in the guide, and he gained like 50,000 followers in 30 days
Wow.
using this approach.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and he was even targeting really big creators early on
Oh, wow.
and getting them to comment on his posts, which
Yeah.
kind of created this snowball effect.
I see.
So it's not just about the numbers, though.
Yeah.
He was creating really unique, eye-catching content.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't always conventionally pretty or whatever,
Right.
it was about standing out
Yeah.
and sparking genuine interest.
Yeah. I like that.
There's a combination of quality content and strategic visibility.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, okay. All right, so let's move on to content strategy because that's a big part of this guide.
Yeah, for sure.
And they talk a lot about building your content around specific pillars.
Right.
So can you explain what they mean by that?
Yeah, so basically, content pillars are the core topics or themes that you consistently create content about. They're the foundation of your personal brand.
Got it.
And they use the example of the author's own pillars, which are personal branding,
Okay.
leadership, and AI.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's not about just picking random topics. It's
Right.
about choosing areas where you can consistently deliver valuable insights and build authority.
So you become known for those things?
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And what I like is that they emphasize breaking those pillars down into subtopics.
Okay.
So, for example, under personal branding, you could have subtopics like creating a compelling LinkedIn profile,
Okay.
building a strong online presence,
Yeah.
developing your personal brand narrative, things like that.
So it's a way to create a lot of different content,
Exactly.
but still stay focused on your core areas of expertise.
Yeah, it helps you stay organized and consistent.
Yeah, and it feels more sustainable that way.
Right. You're not just scrambling for ideas all the time.
Yeah.
You have a framework to work with.
Okay, so that leads into another strategy that they talk about called the jab cross approach.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So the idea is that you alternate between content that's designed for high impressions,
Okay.
which is your jab,
Mm-hmm.
and content that's focused on driving conversions,
Got it.
which is your cross.
Okay, so break that down for me a little bit more.
So your jab content is all about expanding your reach, getting your name out there.
So that's like awareness building?
Exactly. It's stuff that's going to get a lot of views and shares,
Okay.
but it's not necessarily designed to sell anything.
Okay.
Then your cross content is more targeted. It's focused on getting people to take a specific action.
Like sign up for your email list.
Exactly. Or book a call or buy your product.
Download a lead magnet or something like that.
Right. It's the stuff that's going to move people further down your sales funnel.
So it's like you're jabbing to get their attention
Yeah.
and then you're crossing to go in for the close.
Exactly.
I like that analogy.
It's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
It's a more strategic approach to content creation.
Right. It's not just about throwing stuff out there and hoping it sticks.
Yeah, you have to be intentional about it.
Okay, so what else caught your eye in terms of content strategies?
Well, they have this whole section on leveraging what they call pre-validated content, which basically means content that's already proven to be successful.
Oh, interesting.
And I was a little skeptical at first
Yeah.
because I thought it sounded like they were advocating for just copying other people.
Right. Like that wouldn't be very original.
Exactly. But that's not what they're saying at all.
Okay.
It's more about identifying successful formats and ideas
Yeah.
and then adapting them to your own unique voice and brand.
So it's kind of like inspiration.
Yeah, you're getting inspiration from what's already working. Yeah. But you're not just copying it verbatim. Right. You're putting your own spin on it.
Exactly.
So do they give any specific examples of how to do that?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
So let's say you find a really popular carousel post on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Instead of just copying that exact post,
Right.
you could think about, okay, what's my unique take on this topic?
Yeah.
What personal experiences or examples can I share that would add value?
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking the existing framework
Yeah.
and you're infusing it with your own personality and expertise.
I see.
And they actually recommend using tools like Clio and Tweet Hunter
Okay.
to find pre-validated content across different platforms.
Those are new ones to me.
Yeah, they're really helpful for identifying trending topics,
Okay.
popular formats, and even specific creators whose content is resonating with your target audience.
So it's like a way to do some research.
Exactly.
Okay. I like that.
So you can see what's already working
Yeah.
and then get ideas for how to create your own content.
All right. So I want to talk about AI. Okay.
Because it's all the buzz these days.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
And this guide seems to be all in on using AI tools for personal branding.
Yeah, they're big proponents of it.
So what are your thoughts on that? I mean,
Yeah.
is it ethical?
Well, I think it's important to approach it strategically and ethically,
Okay.
but I do think it has incredible potential.
Yeah.
And the guide highlights a bunch of different AI tools like ChatGPT,
Mhm.
Claude Perplexity,
Yeah, I've heard of those.
and they can be really helpful for things like content creation,
Oh,
market research,
Mhm.
competitor analysis.
wow. So you can kind of use it to streamline your workflow.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've actually been experimenting with Midjourney
Oh, cool.
to generate ideas for visual content.
Oh, nice.
And it's pretty amazing what it can come up with.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
So I think it's really powerful for brainstorming and overcoming creative blocks.
Right.
But I also think it's important to remember that AI is a tool. It's
You're
not a
right.
replacement for human creativity. Critical thinking and genuine connection.
I agree with that.
Like, you can't just let the AI do all the work for you.
No, definitely not.
You still need to be the one driving the ship.
Yeah, you need to have a vision
Right.
and a strategy.
And you need to be able to connect with people on a human level.
Exactly.
All right, so we've talked about defining your why,
Yep.
engaging strategically, building a content strategy,
Mm-hmm.
leveraging AI.
Right.
Now let's talk about building a team,
Okay.
because that's something that a lot of people kind of put off.
Yeah, I think they think, oh, I can do it all myself.
Right.
But it's so much easier and more effective if you have help.
I agree. And the guide really emphasizes the importance of delegating tasks
Yeah.
that don't require your direct expertise,
Right.
so you can focus on your zone of genius.
Like, what are you really good at?
Right. What are the things that only you can do?
Exactly. And what are the things that you can outsource to someone else?
Yeah, because there are so many talented people out there
Yeah.
who can help you with things like graphic design, video editing,
Social media management,
writing.
all sorts of things.
Yeah, so you don't have to be a jack of all trades.
Right.
You can focus on what you do best.
And let other people handle the rest.
So they actually recommend starting with virtual assistants.
Oh, yeah. VAs are amazing.
Yeah,
They can free up so much of your time.
I know. And they're really affordable, too.
Yeah, you can find some really talented VAs for a very reasonable price.
So what kind of tasks do you think people should be delegating to VAs?
Well, they're great for things like scheduling social media posts,
Okay.
managing your inbox,
Oh.
doing basic research,
Yeah.
things like that.
Those are all super time-consuming tasks.
Right, and they don't require your unique expertise.
Exactly.
So why not let someone else handle them?
So where do you suggest people find VAs?
Well, there are a lot of great platforms out there like Upwork,
Okay.
Fiverr,
Okay.
and you can even reach out to your network for recommendations.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, sometimes the best people are the ones who come recommended by someone you trust.
And then as your brand grows,
Mhm.
you might consider bringing on freelancers
Right.
for more specialized tasks
Yeah, like if you need help with graphic design or video editing.
or copywriting.
Exactly.
You can find some really talented freelancers on platforms like Upwork, Fiverr,
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yep. Those are all good options.
But I think it's really important to clearly define the scope of work,
Yeah, for sure.
set realistic deadlines,
Right.
and establish a system for communication and feedback.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
need to be on the same page with your freelancers.
Yeah, otherwise it can be a nightmare.
Exactly.
And then eventually you might even consider hiring a personal brand manager.
Oh, yeah, that's the dream.
Right.
Someone who can oversee your entire content strategy and team.
Manage everything.
Yeah, they're like your right-hand man.
So you can really focus on the big picture.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that's a pretty significant investment. Yeah, it is.
But I guess for some people it's worth it.
Oh, definitely. If you're serious about building a big brand,
Yeah.
it's an investment that can pay off big time.
And they also emphasize the importance of systems and communication when
Right.
you're working with a team.
You can't just throw a bunch of people together
Yeah.
and expect them to magically work seamlessly.
Right. It takes effort.
Exactly. You need to establish clear workflows,
Mm-hmm.
communication channels,
Yeah.
feedback loops.
Make sure everyone's on the same page.
Exactly.
So do you recommend any specific tools for that?
Well, there are a lot of great project management tools out there,
Okay.
like Asana,
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Trello.
Mm-hmm.
And for communication, you can use platforms like Slack
Right.
or even just good old-fashioned email.
And I think it's also important to have regular check-in meetings.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to make sure everyone's on track
Absolutely.
and to address any issues that might come up.
Right. Communication is key.
Yeah, it really is. When you're working with a team.
Okay, so building a team is definitely something to think about
Yeah.
as your brand starts to grow.
It's an investment in your future success.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So don't be afraid to ask for help.
All right, so we're going to leave it there for this part of our deep dive.
Okay.
But we're going to come back in the next part and talk about some more advanced strategies.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned.
Can't wait.
We'll be right back.
Yes. Welcome back. So you ready to jump back into this personal branding stuff?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to level up.
Awesome.
Whoa.
So let's talk about LinkedIn, because
Lucky.
this guide really stresses its importance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
I mean, it's kind of like your online resume these days,
Yeah,
right?
it's your digital storefront, they say.
Mm.
And it's not just about listing your work experience anymore.
Right. It's got to be more than that.
It's about showcasing your expertise and personality
Yeah.
in a way that really resonates with your target audience.
So how do you make your profile stand out?
Well, they start with the tagline, that little phrase right below your name.
Yeah.
Instead of just putting your job title.
Right.
Use that space to quickly communicate what you do and who you help.
So give me an example.
Okay, so they have this great example in the guide.
Mm-hmm.
I help 6 to 7 figure CEOs and founders grow and monetize their LinkedIn audience through a 6-week online cohort.
Wow. That's a mouthful.
It is, but it's concise.
Yeah.
And it tells you everything you need to know.
Right. It's like their target audience,
Mm-hmm.
the problem they solve, and their solution all in one sentence.
Exactly.
That's impressive.
Yeah. It's a good example of how to make the most of that limited space.
Okay, so then what about the About section?
That's another important one.
Yeah.
And the guide says, don't just treat it like a dumping ground for your resume.
Right, because I've seen some profiles where it's literally just like a wall of text.
Yeah, nobody wants to read that.
It's not very engaging.
No, it's not.
So what do they suggest instead?
They recommend using that space to tell a story, your professional journey, the challenges you've overcome, the value you bring to the table.
So make it more personal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want people to connect with you on a human level.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, of course, you need a professional headshot.
Oh, yeah, that's a must-have.
You'd be surprised how many people still have, like, selfies or blurry photos on their profile.
I know, it's crazy. It's like your first impression.
Exactly.
You got to make it a good one.
Your headshot is the visual representation of your brand.
Yeah.
And it should convey approachability, competence, and trustworthiness.
All the good stuff.
And then don't forget about the featured section.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
You can use that to showcase your best content.
So like articles,
Yeah.
videos,
Podcasts.
case studies.
Anything that you're proud of.
So it's like a little portfolio.
Exactly. It's a way to let people quickly sample your work
I like that.
and see what you're all about.
Okay, so let's talk about content formats.
Okay.
What kind of content works well on LinkedIn?
Well, carousels are really popular right now.
Yeah, I see those everywhere.
And the guide actually highlights them as a highly effective format for engagement and conversion.
So why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's because they're visually appealing and they break down information into bite-sized chunks that people can easily swipe through.
So it's easy to consume.
Exactly.
Even if you're just scrolling through your feed.
Yeah, you don't have to commit to reading a long article. You can just get the highlights and a few quick swipes.
And they're also good for storytelling, right?
Yes.
You can kind of create a narrative.
You can use visuals and text to tell a story.
Yeah, and people love stories.
We do. It's how we connect with each other.
So what are some tips for creating effective carousels?
Well, the guide recommends using strong visuals,
Okay.
concise text,
Keep it short and sweet.
and clear calls to action.
Tell people what you want them to do.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about storytelling posts?
Those are also really effective for building an emotional connection with your audience.
Yeah, because we all love a good story.
We do.
So what kind of stories should people be sharing?
Well, the guide recommends sharing stories about your own experiences, your challenges, your lessons learned.
So it's about being authentic.
Exactly.
Letting people see the real you.
Yeah, warts and all.
Because that's what makes you relatable.
Right. People connect with vulnerability.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the guide also suggests using multi-image posts
Okay.
to provide further context or showcase multiple examples.
So it's like a carousel, but with fewer slides?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
It's just a way to add depth and visual interest to your posts.
And then, of course, there's the classic text-only post.
Yeah, this can still be effective.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to spark a discussion or share a strong opinion.
But they have to be really well written.
Yeah. You got to hook people with those first few lines.
Make them want to read more.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about video,
Okay.
because that's huge right now.
Yeah, video is king.
But I think a lot of people struggle with creating engaging video content.
It can be intimidating.
Yeah.
So what does the guide say about that?
Well, they emphasize the importance of having a strong hook.
Okay.
Something that grabs people's attention in the first few seconds.
Yeah, you got to get them hooked right away.
Otherwise, they're going to scroll on by.
Exactly.
And then once you have their attention,
Yep.
you need to deliver valuable content
Right.
that keeps them watching.
You don't want them to click away.
So what are some tips for creating a strong hook?
Well, you could start with a question.
Okay.
Or a bold statement.
Mm-hmm.
Or even a funny anecdote.
Something to pique their interest.
Exactly.
And then once you have their attention,
yeah.
you need to make sure your content is actually valuable.
Right.
Like they're getting something out of it.
Otherwise, they're not going to come back for more.
So it's not just about entertainment.
No, it's about education, too.
Right.
You want to teach people something.
Or inspire them.
Or motivate them.
Give them something to think about.
Exactly.
And they also recommend using visuals,
Yeah.
captions, and different camera angles
Right.
to make your videos more dynamic and engaging.
It's all about keeping people's attention.
Yeah, because people's attention spans are so short these days.
I know, it's crazy.
You got to really work for it.
And clear audio is essential.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing worse than watching a video with muffled sound.
It's so frustrating.
Okay, so let's talk about lead magnets.
Okay.
Because I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah, they're a great way to grow your audience.
So for those who don't know, can you explain what a lead magnet is?
Yeah, so basically it's a freebie that you offer in exchange for someone's email address.
Okay.
Could be a cheat sheet,
Mm-hmm.
a mini course,
Yeah,
a template,
an ebook.
anything that would be valuable to your target audience.
So it's a way to provide value up front.
Exactly.
And build your email list at the same time.
It's a win-win.
So what are some tips for creating effective lead magnets?
Well, the guide stresses the importance of offering something genuinely valuable that aligns with your brand and expertise.
So it's got to be something that people actually want.
Right. It should solve a specific problem for them.
And it should be high quality.
Yes.
Like you don't want to just throw something together.
No, it should be something that you're proud of.
So they give some examples in the guide.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like how to build a powerful personal brand on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Or the ultimate guide to crafting a compelling LinkedIn profile.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
They're very specific.
And actionable.
Exactly.
So once you've created your lead magnet,
yeah.
how do you get people to sign up for it?
Well, you need to promote it.
Okay.
You can share it on social media,
Mhm.
include it in your email signature,
Yeah.
mention it on your website, talk about it on your podcast.
Webinars.
Yeah, webinars are a great way to promote lead magnets.
And you can even use paid advertising. If you want to reach a wider audience.
It's all about getting your lead magnet in front of the right people.
Yeah, because if nobody sees it.
It's not going to do you any good.
Okay, so we've talked about optimizing your profile.
Yep.
Creating engaging content.
Mm-hmm.
And using lead magnets.
Right.
Now, what about building relationships with other creators on LinkedIn?
Oh, yeah, that's super important because it's not just about broadcasting your own message.
Yeah.
It's about engaging with other people.
So how do you suggest people go about doing that?
Well, the guide recommends actively engaging with other creators' content.
Oh,
like commenting on their posts, sharing their articles, sending them a message.
Just starting a conversation.
Exactly.
And you can also attend industry events.
Yeah. Those are great for networking.
And you can even reach out to people you admire.
Oh, yeah. Don't be afraid to slide into those DMs.
As long as you're respectful.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't be creepy.
And be genuine. People can tell when you're not being authentic.
So it's really about building a community of like-minded individuals.
And it can support each other.
Yeah. I think that's often overlooked in the online world.
Yeah.
We get so focused on building our own platforms that we forget about the power of collaboration.
It's not a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room for everyone to succeed.
Okay, so I want to circle back to AI.
Okay.
Because we talked about it in the last part.
Yeah.
But the guide goes even deeper in this section.
Awesome, really?
Yeah, they talk about how AI can help you personalize your content and create a more engaging experience for your audience.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because personalization is key these days, right?
Yeah. People are bombarded with so much information.
I know, it's overwhelming.
So they're more likely to engage with content that feels tailored to their specific interests and needs.
So how can AI help with that?
Well, the guide suggests using AI to recommend relevant content, tailor email marketing campaigns, or even create personalized chatbots.
Wow, that's pretty advanced.
Yeah, AI is getting really sophisticated.
So it's like using AI to enhance the human touch.
Exactly.
Not replace it.
Right.
Because you still want that personal connection.
Yeah, definitely.
But AI can help you scale your efforts.
And make them more effective.
And they also talk about using AI to manage your brand as it grows.
Oh, yeah, that's a game changer.
So what kind of things can AI help you with?
Well, it can help you with things like scheduling social media posts,
Okay.
automating email marketing campaigns,
Mhm.
and even managing community engagement.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, AI can take a lot of the busy work off your plate.
So you can focus on the more strategic stuff.
Exactly.
So do they recommend any specific tools for that?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
For scheduling, they recommend Hootsuite.
Okay.
For email marketing, they recommend MailChimp.
Hmm.
And for chatbots, there are a bunch of different options out there.
And they also stress the importance of using AI to analyze your data
Right.
and track your progress.
Because you need to know what's working
Yeah.
and what's not.
Otherwise, you're just shooting in the dark.
Exactly.
So what kind of tools do they recommend for that?
Well, there's Google Analytics for tracking website traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are all sorts of social media analytics tools.
Yeah.
And there are even AI-powered tools that can analyze trends and identify patterns in your data.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, AI is really changing the game when it comes to personal branding.
But I think it's important to remember that AI is just one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, for sure.
You still need to have a clear vision,
Right.
create high-quality content,
Yeah.
and build authentic relationships with your audience.
Exactly.
AI can amplify your efforts.
But it can't replace the human element.
All right, so let's talk about building your personal brand dream team.
Okay.
Because as your brand expands and your influence grows,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to need help
Yeah, definitely.
to manage all the moving parts.
So what does the guide recommend?
Well, they recommend starting with virtual assistants
Okay.
for tasks like
Yeah.
scheduling posts,
Mm,
managing your inbox,
right.
and even conducting basic research.
Yeah, VAs are like the unsung heroes of the personal branding world.
I agree.
They can free up so much of your time and energy.
So you can focus on the things that only you can do.
Exactly.
So how do you suggest people find good VAs?
Well, there are a few different options.
Okay.
You can use platforms like Upwork and Fiverr,
Yeah, I've heard of those.
or you can even reach out to your network for recommendations.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Sometimes the best people are the ones who come recommended by someone you trust.
And then as your brand grows,
Yeah.
you might consider bringing on freelancers
Right.
for more specialized tasks.
Like graphic design,
Yeah.
video editing.
Copywriting.
Exactly.
And you can find really talented freelancers on platforms like Upwork,
Yeah.
Fiverr, LinkedIn.
There are so many options out there.
But it's important to be clear about the scope of work.
Yeah, for sure.
Set realistic deadlines.
Right.
And establish a system for communication and feedback.
Absolutely. You need to be on the same page with your freelancers.
Otherwise, it can be a nightmare.
Exactly.
And then eventually, you
Sure.
might even consider hiring a personal brand manager.
Oh, yeah. That's the dream.
Right.
Someone to oversee your entire content strategy and team.
Yeah, they're like your right-hand man.
Exactly.
So you can really focus on the big picture.
That's the goal.
But I'm guessing that's a pretty significant investment.
Yeah, it is.
But for some people, it's worth it.
Oh, definitely. If you're serious about building a big brand,
Yeah.
it's an investment that can pay off big time.
And they also emphasize the importance of systems and communication
Right.
when you're working with a team.
You can't just throw a bunch of people together
Yeah,
and expect them to magically work seamlessly.
right. It takes effort.
Exactly. You need to establish clear workflows,
Mhm.
communication channels,
Yeah.
feedback loops.
Make sure everyone's on the same page. Exactly. So do you recommend any specific tools for that?
Well, there are a lot of great project management tools out there,
Okay.
like Asana,
Yeah, I've heard that.
Trello,
Mm.
and for communication, you can use platforms like Slack
Right.
or even just good old-fashioned email.
And I think it's also important to have regular check-in meetings.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to make sure everyone's on track
Absolutely.
and to address any issues that might come up.
Right. Communication is key.
Yeah, it really is.
When you're working with a team.
Okay, so building a team is definitely something to think about
Yeah.
as your brand starts to grow.
It's an investment in your future success.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So don't be afraid to ask for help.
All right, so let's move on to monetization.
Oh.
'Cause that's what everyone wants to know about, right?
Yeah. How do we make money from this?
Exactly. So
Mhm.
the guide breaks down several different monetization strategies.
Okay, like what?
Well, there's sponsored content,
Mm-hmm.
digital products,
Okay.
coaching and consulting,
Yeah.
speaking engagements,
Mm.
and even affiliate marketing.
Wow. That's a lot of options.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's refreshing that they acknowledge that monetization doesn't have to be a taboo topic.
Right.
Like a lot of creators are afraid to talk about money.
Yeah, they think it's somehow icky or something.
But it's a natural part of building a sustainable personal brand.
Exactly.
You got to make money if you want to keep doing this.
So they emphasize the importance of aligning your monetization strategies with your brand values,
Okay.
and choosing options that authentically resonate with your audience.
So it's not just about chasing the biggest paycheck.
No, it's about building a business that you're proud of,
Yeah.
that feels good.
That aligns with your overall goals.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's dive into each of those strategies a little bit more.
Okay.
Starting with sponsored content.
Okay.
So what is that all about?
So sponsored content is basically when you partner with brands
Okay.
that align with your values and audience
Mm-hmm.
to promote their products or services.
So you're getting paid to talk about a brand,
Exactly.
but the guide stresses the importance of transparency.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to be upfront with your audience
Right.
and clearly disclose when you're being compensated for a promotion.
Like, you can't try to hide it.
No.
People will see right through that.
And they'll lose trust in you.
Exactly.
So how do you find brands to partner with?
Well, they suggest reaching out to brands that you already use and love,
Okay.
or brands that you think would be a good fit for your audience.
So brands that your audience would actually be interested in.
Exactly.
And then when you're pitching a brand,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of things should you highlight?
Well, you should highlight your audience demographics,
Okay.
your engagement rates,
Mm-hmm.
and the unique value that you can bring to their marketing campaign.
So you're basically showing them why they should work with you.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on to digital products.
Okay.
Because I've seen a lot of creators doing this really successfully.
Yeah. It's a great way to monetize your expertise.
So what kind of digital products are we talking about?
Well, it could be anything from online courses
Okay.
to ebooks
Mhm.
to templates.
Worksheets?
Yeah,
Yeah, anything that you can create once
right.
and sell over and over again.
It's a great way to generate passive income.
So what are some tips for creating successful digital products?
Well, the guide recommends starting with a product that solves a specific problem for your target audience.
Okay.
Like, what are they struggling with? What do
Yeah.
they need help with?
And then you create a product that provides a solution.
Exactly.
And they give some examples in the guide,
Oh, yeah.
like how to build a powerful personal brand on LinkedIn,
Okay.
or the ultimate guide to crafting
Yeah.
a compelling LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, those are good ones.
And once you've created your product,
Yeah.
how do you get people to buy it?
Well, you need to promote it.
Okay.
You can promote it through your social media channels,
Mm-hmm.
your email list,
Yeah.
webinars, paid advertising.
All the usual channels.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on to coaching and consulting.
Okay.
So how are those different from digital products?
Well, coaching and consulting are more service-based.
Okay.
So you're working one-on-one
Mm-hmm.
or with small groups.
To provide personalized guidance and support.
Exactly.
So it's more hands-on.
Yeah, it's a more intimate relationship.
And they recommend identifying your niche
Right.
and the specific problems that you're best equipped to solve.
Like, what are you really good at?
Yeah, what are your superpowers?
Exactly.
And then you can promote your services through your website.
Yep.
Social media profiles.
Networking event.
Referrals. All sorts of things.
Okay, so let's talk about speaking engagements.
Okay.
Because those can be really lucrative.
Yeah, they can.
But how do you even get speaking engagements?
Well, the guide suggests networking at industry events.
Okay.
Reaching out to conference organizers.
Mm-hmm.
Creating a speaker profile on platforms like Speaker Hub.
Okay.
And promoting your speaking experience on your website and social media. So it's about putting yourself out there, letting people know that you're available for speaking engagements.
And they also stress the importance of having a polished speaker bio
Okay.
and a compelling presentation.
Yeah, nobody wants to sit through a boring presentation.
No, definitely not.
You got to keep people engaged.
And they even offer tips on developing your speaking style,
Oh, nice.
managing stage fright,
Yeah, that's a big one for a lot of people.
and handling Q&A sessions like a pro.
Wow, so they really cover all the bases.
They do.
Okay, so last but not least, let's talk about affiliate marketing.
Okay.
What's that all about?
So affiliate marketing is basically when you promote other people's products or services
Okay.
and you earn a commission for every sale that you generate.
So you're kind of like a salesperson,
Yeah, in a way.
but you're only promoting products that you actually believe in.
Right.
So it's a win-win for everyone.
Exactly.
Your audience gets access to great products. The brand gets more sales.
And you get a commission.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. So how do you find affiliate programs to join?
Well, they recommend finding programs that align with your niche
Okay.
and your audience's interest.
So if you're a personal finance expert,
Yeah.
you might partner with banks or investment firms.
To promote their financial products.
Exactly.
And then you can promote your affiliate links through your blog posts.
Yep.
Your social media content.
Your email newsletters.
Even your online courses.
It's all about finding creative ways to weave your affiliate links into your content.
But it's important to be transparent.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to let your audience know that you're an affiliate
Right.
and that you're earning a commission.
Otherwise, it could come across as shady.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground on monetization strategies.
We have.
And I think it's important to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
It's about experimenting with different strategies and finding what works best for you.
And your audience.
And as your brand grows, it's important to reinvest some of your earnings back into your brand's development.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like you can hire a team, upgrade your website,
invest in new equipment,
attend conferences.
Yeah, there are so many ways to invest in your brand.
It's about playing the long game.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about mindset,
Right.
because that's a big part of personal branding.
Yeah. It's all about the mental game.
And the guide acknowledges that building a personal brand can be an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There are going to be highs and lows,
Definitely.
moments of self-doubt.
Times when you want to give up.
Yeah.
It's not always easy.
So they stress the importance of cultivating a resilient mindset
Right.
that can help you navigate those challenges.
And keep moving forward.
So what are some strategies for developing that unshakable mindset?
Well, they start by addressing imposter syndrome,
Okay.
which is something that almost every creator experiences at some point.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that before.
It's that feeling of self-doubt.
Like you're not good enough.
Feel like you're a fraud.
Like you're going to be exposed.
Exactly.
So how do you deal with that?
Well, the guide offers several strategies.
Okay.
First, you need to recognize and challenge your negative self-talk.
Okay.
So pay attention to those critical voices in your head.
Yeah.
And consciously reframe them with positive affirmations and evidence of your accomplishments.
So it's about changing the narrative
Exactly.
from negative to positive.
Yep.
And they also suggest focusing on your strengths and accomplishments.
Yeah. Make a list of all the things you're good at and all the things you've achieved.
Celebrate your wins,
Exactly.
no matter how small.
Because every win is a step in the right direction.
And it's important to surround yourself with supportive people
Yeah.
who believe in you,
People who lift you up,
encourage you,
celebrate your successes.
yeah, and give you honest feedback.
Because sometimes you need a little tough love.
Right. But it should always come from a place of love.
Okay.
And they also talk about the importance of embracing failure,
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
because we're so conditioned to fear failure.
Right.
But the guide reframes it as a learning opportunity.
Exactly.
Like it's not the end of the world if you make a mistake.
It's a chance to learn and grow.
So don't be afraid to fail.
It's part of the process.
And they also talk about developing a growth mindset,
Yeah.
which is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed,
Through hard work
dedication.
and continuous learning.
So it's the opposite of a fixed mindset,
Right.
where you believe that you're born with a certain level of talent.
And that's it.
You can't change it.
But with a growth mindset,
You believe that you can always improve.
no matter where you're starting from.
And that's so important for personal brand building.
Because it's a journey.
It's not a destination.
You're always learning.
You're always growing.
You're always evolving.
And they also stress the importance of seeking out feedback
Yeah.
from others.
Because feedback is invaluable.
It helps you identify your blind spots.
And areas for improvement
So don't be afraid to ask for feedback
from people you trust.
and be open to constructive criticism,
Yeah.
because it can help you get better.
And they also talk about staying motivated.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Because building a personal brand is a marathon.
Not a sprint.
It takes time and effort.
And consistency.
So how do you stay motivated when the going gets tough?
Well, they suggest setting clear goals,
Okay.
tracking your progress,
Mm-hmm.
finding an accountability partner
Yeah.
or a mentor,
Right.
and surrounding yourself with a supportive community.
Because you...
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive, and I'm ready to get into the really good stuff.
Yeah, me too.
We've talked about a lot of the tactical things, but now I want to talk about the more like heart-centered aspects of personal branding. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the stuff that really connects with people on an emotional level.
Makes sense.
So this guide have a whole section on crafting a compelling narrative.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
It's not just about, listing your accomplishments.
Right.
It's about telling a story that people can connect with.
So it's more than just a bio.
Exactly. And I've always struggled with that a little bit.
Really?
I feel like my story isn't that interesting,
I don't believe that for a second.
But the guide actually argues that everyone has a story worth telling. It's just about finding the right way to tell it.
I see.
So they suggest digging deep into your experiences,
Okay.
your challenges,
Mhm.
your motivations.
Like what makes you tick?
Exactly. What were some of the things that resonated with you in that section?
Well, they really emphasize the importance of vulnerability and authenticity.
Yeah.
It's about letting people see the real you.
Flaws and all.
Exactly, because people connect with authenticity.
Yeah, I agree.
When you're willing to share your struggles and your triumphs, it makes you more relatable and human.
So it's not about creating this perfect persona.
Right.
It's about being genuine.
And being yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you actually craft a narrative that resonates with your audience?
Well, they suggest identifying key themes or turning points in your life
Okay.
that have shaped who you are today.
So like major life events.
Yeah, it could be a challenge you overcame,
Okay.
a mentor who inspired you, or even a failure that taught you a valuable lesson.
So it's about finding those moments that really shaped your journey
Exactly.
and then connecting them to your current work and your message.
Right.
I like that.
It's about finding the threads that connect your past to your present.
And then they also talk about the importance of finding your unique voice and style.
Right. That's super important.
Because your voice is what sets you apart from everyone else.
Right. It's how you express yourself.
The words you
The
choose.
tone you convey.
So it's about finding a style that feels authentic to you.
And that resonates with your audience.
Yeah. And the guide even suggests experimenting with different storytelling techniques,
Oh, like what?
like using humor,
Okay.
metaphors, personal anecdotes.
I like that.
So it's about finding what works best for you.
And for your audience.
There's no right or wrong way to do it.
As long as it feels genuine.
And compelling.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked about crafting a compelling narrative. Now, let's talk about some of the practical challenges of building a personal brand.
Yeah, because it's not all sunshine and roses.
No, it's definitely not.
There are going to be bumps in the road.
So how do you overcome those challenges?
Well, the guide has a whole section on that.
Oh, good.
And they talk about things like imposter syndrome.
Which we've already talked about a little bit.
Yeah, but it's worth repeating.
Because it's such a common experience.
So how do they suggest people deal with those feelings of inadequacy?
Well, they recommend focusing on your accomplishments,
Okay.
reminding yourself of how far you've come.
Celebrate your wins.
Exactly. And don't compare yourself to others,
Right.
because everyone's journey is different.
And they also talk about dealing with negativity, which is unfortunately inevitable when you put yourself out there.
So how do you handle that?
Well, they suggest not taking it personally
Okay.
because you can't please everyone.
Right.
And there will always be people who criticize you. So just focus on the people who resonate with your message.
And tune out the haters.
Exactly. And they offer some practical tips for dealing with negative comments,
Oh, like what?
like responding calmly and professionally,
Okay.
setting boundaries,
Mhm.
or even just ignoring or deleting comments that are particularly hurtful.
It's about protecting your energy
Yeah.
and not letting the negativity get to you.
Another challenge they address is staying motivated,
Yeah.
especially when you're not seeing results right away,
Yeah, that can be tough.
because building a personal brand takes time. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
It's a long game.
So they recommend setting realistic goals,
Okay.
breaking down large tasks into smaller steps,
Yeah.
finding an accountability partner, and celebrating your wins along the way.
So it's about creating a system that supports you
Exactly.
and helps you stay on track.
And they also talk about the importance of community,
Yeah.
surrounding yourself with supportive people.
People who understand what you're going through.
Exactly.
So it can be really isolating to build a personal brand.
Especially if you're working from home
Yeah.
or if you don't have a traditional team around you.
Right.
So it's important to find your people.
Your tribe.
Exactly. And then they also talk about continuous learning,
Yeah.
which is so important in this day and age.
Because the digital landscape is constantly changing.
It's hard to keep up.
So you got to be willing to learn and adapt.
So what do they suggest people do to stay ahead of the curve?
Well, they recommend following industry blogs,
Okay.
attending conferences and workshops,
Wow.
listening to podcasts,
Obviously.
and even taking online courses.
So it's about investing in your education
Yeah.
and staying curious.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive,
I know it's been a lot of information.
but I think it's been really valuable.
I agree.
What were some of your biggest takeaways?
Well, for me, it was the emphasis on authenticity and storytelling.
Yeah.
It's not about creating a fake persona.
Right.
It's about being yourself.
And sharing your story.
Exactly.
I also really appreciated the practical advice
Yeah.
on managing your time building a team,
And staying motivated.
because those are all really important things.
Especially when you're first starting out.
Yeah, and the guide does a good job of breaking it down into manageable steps.
Right.
And then the last thing that really resonated with me
Yeah.
was the emphasis on continuous learning,
Yeah.
because this is an ongoing journey.
It's not a destination.
So we always have to be learning and growing.
Exactly.
Well, this has been an amazing deep dive.
I agree.
Thank you so much for joining me.
It's been a pleasure.
And to all of our listeners out there,
Yeah.
thank you for tuning in.
We hope you learned a lot.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.